Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina here in the Panhandle of Florida with a live stream surprise live stream chat discussion about K1 visas. Sometimes I do a surprise live stream for everybody, so you can just jump on, and if you see us live, jump on the channel, and I will be here to answer all your K1 visa questions. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't give you any legal advice at all, none. But I've been through this K1 visa process twice, plus a spousal and a K2. I can write the book on K1 visas. This is beautiful Karina, my beautiful wife from Venezuela. And we went through the K1 visa process via Bogota, Colombia. Although Karina's from Venezuela, she lived in Colombia for almost 6 years. Living in Colombia, she liked things like water and food and medicine and transportation, things that you don't see too much in Venezuela right now. But we got married on January 14th, 2024 on the beach here in Florida, in northern Florida. And there's like people are jumping on the live stream and then they're jumping off the live stream. So if you don't want me to do a live stream at this time of the day, let me know and I won't do it. We have a question, Kaur. Do we need to submit medical application if we have done it overseas? If you have a Form 693 in a sealed envelope, your doctor gave you a second copy after your medical exam, include that in your green card application. If you don't have a sealed copy of your medical exam from your home country, I would recommend you get a second medical exam and get that and include it in your green card application. Some immigration officers are looking for the medical exam and the vaccination documents. Some immigration officers are just looking for the vaccination documents. In order to prevent an RFE, if you don't have a copy of your medical exam from Karina, she had her medical exam in Bogota, Colombia, but they didn't give her a copy of it. She has all her vaccination documents, but she doesn't have a copy of her medical exam. So we went to Pensacola and redid it. We just redid the medical exam with a civil surgeon approved by the State Department. It cost me $175, and they gave me a sealed white envelope with Karina's medical exam in it and her vaccinations, and the doctor signed off on the I-693 and said, here you go. That's included in Karina's green card application. I'm not going to take a chance that the immigration officer is going to not want it, or was going to look for it or not look for it. If he doesn't want it, he won't use it. If he does want it, he's got it. And I'm not going to get an RFE, request for further evidence. I've seen a lot of people getting an RFE because they didn't include their medical exam in their green card application. The immigration officer's like, well, where's the medical exam? Well, I got it done in my home country. I got it done in Bogota. Okay, that's fine. Where's the evidence? Let me see the proof of that. Some kind of proof. At least you got to, and at a minimum, you must provide your vaccination documents. So my recommendation is this. If you don't have a copy of your 693 in a sealed envelope to include in your green card application, just get a new medical exam done. It only takes what? An hour, 30 minutes? Costs you a little bit of money, but it saves you a big headache if the immigration officer is looking for the medical exam at the green card stage. Maybe he's not, maybe she's not, or he's not looking for the medical exam. Maybe they're not looking for it. They're looking for the vaccinations, most definitely. But if you include both, then you're good to go. Francois Livingston, good afternoon, Diego and Karina from upstate New York. I got my upstate New York Colombian hat on. Wait, this keeps all the snow from hitting me on the head because it snows a lot in New York. And Karina bought me this in Bogota, Colombia last year. And I like it, so I'm going to wear it for the live stream. So we hope, Francois, we hope you're doing well, hanging in there. You're getting closer and closer to your NOA2 letter, Francois. Not much longer, okay? Tashless Leans World. Hey, Diego, what is the cost for adjusting of status for K2? He is 15 years of age. $1,225 right now, as of What's today? January what? Today's the 13th. Woo! January 13th. It's not Friday though. January 13th, 2024. The cost for a K2 visa who is 15 years old is $1,225, and that includes the biometrics. You got to file 2 green card applications. If you bring, when you come to the United States of America, let's suppose you bring your child with you, whether he's a baby, she's a baby, or 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay? 21, no. 21's the cutoff. 20 years or younger. You have to file 2 separate green card applications for 2 separate people, one for the beneficiary and one for each child. And you have to pay a separate visa fee for your beneficiary and each child. Okay? So if you bring in 3 people to the United States, okay? If you're bringing 3 people to the United States, you're going to be writing 3 checks, 3 separate checks for this person, and this person, for a total of $3,675. If you're bringing 1 person to the United States, your beneficiary, then you're going to have to write a check for $1,225, which includes the biometrics. That price changes on April 1st, 2024. April 1st, 2024, the price changes. It goes up in price on April 1st. Estefania Flores. Hello, Diego and Karina. I am in my adjustment of status in California. How much time do you think it can take? Thanks. Submitted on January 31. Takes 4 to 6 months. Give it 6 months max, and hopefully sooner than that, okay? And we hope you like your new life, Estefania, in California. Francois Livingston. I love it when YouTube notifies me about the live chat. Well, that's great. I mean, Karina gave me the idea to do this thing, and it's helped a lot of people get their green cards, get their K1 visas. It saves a lot of people a lot of headaches. I've saved a lot of people from making stupid mistakes. Basically, I could work for USCIS, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather do this for you and do it for free. So Estefania, welcome to the United States. Bienvenidas, Estados Unidos. K Messenger, hola Karina and Diego, Febrero Hermano. Hey, Febrero Hermano, what's going on, K Messenger? Now you're in Mexico, in a town I can't pronounce, right? I got a bad memory, but I got a good memory too. Tasha Slynn's World, welcome. No problem. Thank you. You're good. Yeah, when you fill out the check, Tasha Slynn's World, you're going to fill out 2 checks. One for your green card, okay, and one for your son's green card, okay? Now you can combine the packages together. So you're going to put 2 green card applications together, one for you and one for your son. One for you, one for your son, in separate folders. 2 separate checks, 2 separate I-864s, 2 separate medical exams, 2 separate vaccinations, okay, 2 separate adjustment of status paperwork. Everything's going to be separate in 2 different folders, but you can put them together and mail them to the correct lockbox. I made a video on where to mail your green card applications. I made a video on where to mail green card applications, and somebody wrote me a message in YouTube on that video and said, where do I mail my green card application? My husband lives in Maine. It's in the video. The video is 2 minutes long. Come on, guys. I made a video. I told you where to mail your green card. And then you asked me, where do I mail my green card in the video? I mean, come on, guys. GLK Dog 01. Hey, Diego, I got my 221G approved, but it's been a week and they still haven't issued the visa. What do you think could be the problem? Well, there's no problem. It's just workload. They're busy. Okay? They're busy people. Every embassy around the world is just busy. They're not just processing K1s. They're processing tourist visas. They're processing spousal visas. They're processing work visas. I mean, there's so many different kind of visas out there, guys. Okay? So there's nothing wrong, GLK Doggo 1. You just got to wait out the process. That's all. Zendaya Bascom, can you explain the form I-134 form? Yeah, I made a video. I made a video on how to fill out the form I-134. The form I-134 is the Declaration of Financial Support. And the sponsor fills it out for the beneficiary, okay? And it's basically telling immigration at the embassy stage, because a K-1 visa is treated as a non-immigrant visa at the embassy stage. So you got to make 100% minimum of the income. So you fill out the I-134, which is the same form you'd fill out if you were a tourist coming to America. Okay, if you were a tourist coming to the United States, you'd fill out form I-134. The beneficiary would. Okay, because you're on a K-1 coming to the United States of America, it's still a non-immigrant visa, but it's treated as an immigrant visa. I know it's a little stupid, but you know it's ran by the government. So what do you expect? So the I-134 is filled out by the sponsor, not the beneficiary. There's a spot on the I-134 where the beneficiary can sign. Don't sign it. Don't sign it, Miss Beneficiary. It's got nothing to do with you. This form has got nothing to do with you. This form is all about how much money the sponsor makes and can he support you when you come to America. Then when you get to the United States of America, then your sponsor is going to fill out the I-864, which is the affidavit of support, where you have to be at 125% plus to qualify for the green card. K Messenger, you said January. And what happened? You got it in February? What was I, off of 2 weeks? Aquarius, hello, we just sent the I-129F form, got the notification they received it. That's your NOA-1 letter. What should me and my fiance work on while waiting for the NOA-2? Well, plan a trip to go see her. Go plan a trip and go visit her. Okay. You're going to wait for your NOA-2 letter, which is going to take probably 9 or 10 months. So I would say by the end of 2024, you should get your NOA-2 letter. So in that time, go make another trip to go see your beneficiary. Keep your boarding passes, get lots of pictures with family and friends, and then that's evidence for your green card. And then the immigration officer at the embassy is probably going to ask your beneficiary how many times has your petitioner been to see you. And then you can say, well, he went this time, he came to visit me this time, he came to visit me this time, or she, whoever it pertains to. I went to see Karina 5 times. And when Karina went to her visa interview, the immigration officer said, how many times has your sponsor been to visit you? She said, well, it was 4 times at the embassy interview, but actually it was 5 because I was there with her, but I was sick in bed. I got sick on the day of her visa interview. So I was sick in the apartment in Bogota, and Karina got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and skedaddled down to the embassy and got her visa approved. So keep your evidence going. Okay, you got to maintain your evidence, Aquarius. Keep your WhatsApp chats. Keep printing the WhatsApp chats or your messenger chats. Keep the evidence. Keep building your evidence of the relationship, because you're going to need it for the green card and also for the embassy interview. K Messenger, that word in Mexico, your better half said it correctly. What does that say? Me more. What is that? What is that?
Tlaxcala.
Is that
Tlaxcala.
What is it? Whatever that word is. TXCal, I can't say it. Justina, hello, Diego. I'm the petitioner living in the United States. Well, I hope you're living in the United States. My fiance has an interview date for April 15th, 2024, not much longer, at the embassy in Lagos, Nigeria. Fantastic, Justina. And before you know it, April 15th is going to be here. You're going to be waking up, and your beneficiary is going to have his visa approved. Just like that. Dina Ali, hi Diego, how are you? We are good. Pray for me, Diego. 2 weeks more for the interview. Dina Ali, you're good. Now, Dina, your beneficiary is from Iraq, right? And I got him out of Iraq. I helped you get him out of Iraq, because the embassy in Baghdad is closed for visas anyway, and got him into Abu Dhabi, right? If I remember. Justina, my question is, do I need to rush to have my 2023 taxes completed? No, you don't. The Justina, the visa interview is on April 15th. Well, that's the cutoff date for taxes. So you're between a rock and a hard place right there. April 15th is the day you're supposed to file your 2023 taxes to the IRS, so they can steal your money out of your purse, right? So the question is, do I have to rush to have my 2023 taxes completed before her interview so that she can have it on the tax transcript? Well, what you need to do is file your taxes like today, because the interview is on April 15th, and that's the cutoff date for taxes. So you need to file your taxes like tomorrow, or probably tomorrow. Whether the IRS will have a tax transcript generated for you by April 15th, as you're going to have to try to get it. But if you can't get it, don't worry about it, because you'll have your 1040. Keep a copy of your 1040, your W-2s. Keep those as evidence of paying your taxes or filing your taxes. Hopefully you get money back. But you're going to have to file your taxes and get the 1020 and get your 1040s and your W-2s to your beneficiary in whatever country she's in. Okay? So get your taxes done and make a copy of the 1040, okay? And the W-2. And get it to her with the I-134 and your bank statements and your pay stubs and a letter from your boss. That's the financial side. So do you need to rush to have my 2023 taxes completed? Yes, you do. You need to get your taxes done, like tomorrow. If you've got your W-2s, you should have them by now. It's the end of February. What is it? In the middle of February. You should have them by now. Get your taxes done. I'm not a CPA, okay, but I'm just telling you, if you don't, you need to get them done, okay? Whether you get your tax transcripts ready by the 15th of April, probably not. The IRS is a government body. They take your money, but they work slow, okay? If you owe the IRS money, they take it out of your paycheck quick. But if they owe you money, it's slow, right? K Messenger, you said today was January 13th. Oh, my good friends, first mistake on this channel I've ever heard. I said today was January 13th. See? No, it's February 13th. I said January? Seriously. Well, okay, well, let's backpedal. Today is February 13th, 2024. Okay? My first mistake, and K Messenger caught it. Thank you for catching that. Justina, if she goes to the interview without my 2023 taxes, would they deny her approval? No. They will put you in a 221G administrative hold, and they will ask for your 2023 taxes. Okay? Because it's April 15th. Your taxes are due April 15th to the IRS. Okay? I filed my taxes. The only reason I filed them early is because I want to include my tax return in Karina's green card application. That's all. Otherwise, I'd wait till April 15th and I'd go mail it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Because the U.S. government, when they take my money, they waste it on whatever, They wasted my money and your money on your tax money is anyway. Let's stay away from that topic. Get your taxes done tomorrow. Okay, get them done tomorrow. And make sure that you have copies to give to your beneficiary for her visa interview on April 15th. So yeah, if your beneficiary doesn't go to the interview without your 2023 taxes, there's going to be a problem. You're not going to get a denial, but you're going to be put in a hold, and they're going to ask you for those taxes. Okay? Justina, P.S. The reason I am stalling on doing my taxes is because I will owe this year, and I need to write off many things for my business. Thanks, Diego, and congratulations to you and Karina. Well, thanks. Justina, you're in the middle of an immigration process, right? You're in the middle of an immigration process, and your beautiful Prometida, her life is in your hands right now for April 15th, 2024. Mistake number 2. Your Prometida's life is in your hands, and it's up to you whether you file your taxes or not, or whether you got to write off deductions or whatever, it's all that is irrelevant. You got to do your taxes, and you got to get that 1040 to your beneficiary, plus the W-2, okay? As soon as you can, because the immigration interview is on April 15th. That's not much time. And K Messenger said today was January 13th. It's February 13th. Okay, it's February. And Justina, you cannot stall on doing your taxes during an immigration process. Get it done, okay? I'm serious. I'm trying to help you. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you how to save a big headache for your prometida. Angel Marcia, hola Diego and Karina. What's going on, Angel? Shiku, Dumbaya, hello Diego, how are you doing? I'm good. I'm trying to put paperwork together. I'm worried if she doesn't have an appointment, how can I take to the interview? Because you need to bring an appointment letter to. That's true. You got to bring an appointment letter. So you bring the appointment. You pay for your daughter's. You got what, a 10-year-old, right? You pay her visa fee. You fill out the DS-160, and you schedule an interview for her and get her medical done. Okay. If the interview is past your interview, because it takes 3 months to get an interview, don't worry about that. Bring the scheduled medical, bring the medical exam with you. Bring her passport. Bring her birth certificate. Bring the DS-160 and the scheduled interview date. Bring all that with you and say, look, this is my 10-year-old daughter right here, right next to me. Her visa interview is on this day. Can you combine my K1 and K2 interview today for this day? The immigration officer is going to probably say yes. Just listen to me, Shiku. Listen to me. It doesn't matter when your daughter's K1 visa interview is scheduled for, because you're going to bring her to your visa interview, and you're going to bring her to your visa interview because she's a minor. The embassy will let her in to the embassy interview, okay? Because it's processing a visa. Bring with you your daughter's DS-160, her passport, her birth certificate, the receipt for paying their visa interview, the MERV receipt, and her scheduled visa interview, and also get her medical exam done. And then when you go to your K1 visa interview with your daughter, say, look, like I said, my daughter's interview is on this day, mine's on this day. The reason I didn't schedule her interview with mine is because I didn't have her passport yet. The immigration officer will go on the computer and within 2 seconds, will process your K1 visa with your daughter's K2. And he will cancel the one that you scheduled for her in the past yours. Do you see what I'm saying? You got to do that. That's my advice to help you from being separated. Or you can get remember now, your K1 visa is good for 6 months from the date of your medical exam. So if your daughter's K1 visa interview is a month ahead of yours, you can wait for her, okay? Bring her to her visa interview, and then both of you leave together. But you got to schedule her interview. You got to pay the visa fee for her. You got to do the DS-160. You got to get her a medical done. All right? You got to do all that. Whatever the day her K1 visa, her K2 visa interview is irrelevant, because you're going to bring her to your K1 visa interview. And then you're going to ask the immigration officer, please process these two together. And he or she will go on the computer and look and say, okay, oh yeah, your daughter's got her interview this day, but we'll just wrap it up into this one. But he won't do that if you haven't scheduled her, if you haven't paid the visa fee, if you haven't filled out the DS-160, if you haven't completed the medical exam. He won't do that if you don't do those things, okay? I'm going to save you a big headache. Zendaya Bascom, can I still visit my fiance in the United States in April before my interview in June? Well, if you have a B2 visa, do you have a B2 visa in your passport? Do you have a tourist visa? That's good for 10 years. If you have a tourist visa, you can go visit. Sure. But you be ready for questions. The Border Patrol is going to ask you questions when you enter the United States. because they're going to look at your passport and they'll see in the computer you're in the K1 process, and they're going to say, "Oh, okay, you coming on vacation? Are you going back, or what? What's the deal? Why are you coming on vacation 2 months before your K1?" But you can do it. You can try. You can do it. I don't think there'll be a problem as long as you give an explanation, and as long as you got a tourist visa in your passport. Shiku, my problem is to schedule the interview. It's not easy for a date for my daughter, especially in Sierra Leone. I need an appointment for medical. Okay, well get going and start scheduling. Pay the interview, pay for the visa, fill out the DS-160. Okay, pay the DS-160, get the medical done, and do all the things you're supposed to do. And if you can't schedule a visa interview, bring her to yours with her DS-160, with your DS-160, with her passport, with your passport, with all of her documents and your documents, and say, "Look, here's my daughter. We paid the visa fee. I've submitted the DS-160s, and they will schedule your K2 visa on the same day as your K1 visa interview." They will do it. They'll do it. Let me see here. Jonathan Linda, once my wife gets her green card, can she go back to the Philippines and return to the USA? Yeah, sure, for a vacation. But why would she want to go back to the Philippines? You waited 2 years for your green card. Why would she want to go back? Why don't, Korea's here in Florida. She's not going to Colombia. She's not going to Venezuela. She wants to be here with me. We waited 2 years to get to this point. Now we're enjoying our life together in the United States. It's just my opinion, but she can travel on a green card. Sure. I don't recommend it. Honestly, once you get to America, you're here to live in America, right? But she can travel. Let me see here. VCAS, Vade, my friend, I'm in so much pain. My fiance got sick. He lives in California, but the Delhi embassy doesn't allow me to meet him. What can I do? The Delhi embassy, the embassy in New Delhi, okay, it's the U.S. embassy. They don't control visas. The consulate in Mumbai, India, controls visas. New Delhi's got nothing to do with anything. They just help Americans. The consulate in Mumbai is where you get visas. And what do you mean they won't allow you to meet him? You haven't met him in person? So your fiance lives in California and he's sick? And he can't travel to India to go meet you? Well, and you can't get a tourist visa to come here to see him? Well, then you just wait till he gets well. And then he'll come fly and see you. It's much easier for an American to travel on a U.S. passport than it is for somebody from India to travel to the United States on an Indian passport. It's much easier for him to come see you. Just wait for him to get well. Okay? That's all. But New Delhi, the U.S. Embassy in New Delhi has got nothing to do with visas. It's all processed in Mumbai, in the consulate. Priyanka Srinivas. Hello, Diego. Thank you for your reply. No worries regarding medical exam. No problem. USA, certified physician after medical test in my home country, September, sent reports along with x-rays directly to the U.S. Embassy. Okay, that's good. VCAS Vade. Everything is so difficult. Why is the U.S. government make everything so complicated? Well, because of immigration fraud. Immigration fraud is rampant. Okay, there are lots of people out there, there's American citizens and foreign nationals that fraud the government with green cards. They do. So the U.S. government says, okay, well, if you're going to try to get a green card, or if you're going to try to, there's Americans and foreign nationals that they don't love each other. They're not in a relationship. They just want a green card. So the U.S. government tries to prevent that and makes it hard. So people like you and I who are doing this the right way, okay, it's harder for us to do it. But as long as you follow the rules and do everything you're supposed to do, you get and you qualify for the benefit. Boom, you get your beneficiary into the United States. We got married on the beach, January, and now it's February. Kate Messenger, it's February now. Tomorrow will be 1 month that we've been married. 1 month. Woohoo, man. Check it out. Priyanka, do I have to do the medical exam again? Well, it depends on the immigration officer. When you file for your green card, some immigration officers want to see the medical exam in the green card application in a sealed packet, 693, Form 693. Some immigration officers just want to see the vaccination documents. Okay? So my recommendation is to save yourself getting an RFE, go ahead and just repeat the medical exam by a civil surgeon authorized by the State Department. Doesn't cost that much money. It's not expensive. Just get a repeat on the medical exam and include it in your green card application, and you're done. Then you don't have to worry about an RFE. Let's suppose that you submit your green card application with just the vaccination documents and not the medical exam. And the immigration officer wants to see the medical exam. Then you're going to get a letter. We need to see the medical exam, please. It's called an RFE. And then you're going to have to go find a civil surgeon, get the medical exam done, and then send it back to immigration before you can get your green card. It's going to add 3 months to the process, right? Just do it before you just get it done. Just repeat it. So, I mean, how much money have you invested in your beneficiary? How much money has it cost you to get to the point where you can file for the green card? Probably plane tickets, hotels, trips, vacations. So, just hang in there, guys. It's not a cheap, going through this process is not cheap. And the U.S. government makes it difficult to make sure that there's no fraud in the system. They try to flush out all the bad apples so that the good apples like you guys and us can get our green cards, right? Well, for Karina to get hers, I don't need a green card. And Jonathan Linda, to visit her family for a month in the future. She can do that on a green card, sure. But why? I mean, you waited 2 years, if people want to move to the United States and get married to Americans, then move to the United States and live here. If your beneficiary misses her family or his family that much, then you marry that person and live in their country. Go live in India. Go live in Colombia. Go live in Uganda, Mr. American citizen. If you're going to marry somebody, and then they're going to turn around and say, well, I want to go back to my home country for 6 months or 5 months or whatever. What's the point? What is the point of that? Honestly, I mean, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying to be tough on you guys. But if, Karina is not interested in going back to Colombia for a month's vacation. She's in Florida with me. Why would she want to go back there? Maybe in a few years, once she becomes a U.S. citizen, we'll go back for a 2-week vacation, not a month. Seriously, you wait all this time for a green card, and then your beneficiary wants to go back to her home country. I'm like, seriously, guys, come on now, hang in here. Jonathan Linda, it is a lot of money for all of us to go there to visit her family. Okay, well, that's true. That's very true. But for one person to fly to the Philippines is a lot of money. So, it's much easier for her to go by herself and stay with her family for a month, for 1 month a year. Karina, do you want to go to Colombia and live in Colombia for a month out of every year? No. She's married to me. She lives here. Her family knows where she is, and they do the WhatsApp chat. Hello, hola, ¿cómo estás? It's so easy on the WhatsApp. She can chat for 20 minutes to her family, her brothers, and her mom, and her friends. She got lots of friends. And I'm glad she has lots of friends, and she chats to them on WhatsApp. There's no reason for her to get on a plane and go back to Colombia for a month. There's no reason, unless you want to. No, she says the maximum time she'd ever go back there for a vacation is a week or 2 weeks. And I'll be with her. But I understand that beneficiaries miss their families. It's not an easy thing to do. It's difficult. Let me see here. Jonathan Linda, it's much easier for her to go by herself. Well, then Why don't you go live in the Philippines? You can live in the Philippines. You can live there indefinitely. You just keep renewing your visa. You renew your visa, and then after 3 years, you got to leave the Philippines for a day, and then you come back to the Philippines, and then you start the 3-year process over again. Go live in the Philippines, and then your wife or prometida, she won't be away from her family, right? I lived in Colombia for over 2 years. That's the way it is, guys. It's not easy to do this, especially when you miss your family. It's tough. Let me see. Priyanka, I am in the USA now. We are applying for adjustment of status. Do I have to do medical exam again? I would do it again. Repeat it. Get it. Just redo it. Just redo it. Unless you have a copy of your old medical exam in a sealed envelope. Like I said, immigration officers, some ask for it, some don't ask for it. Priyanka, you got it? Sure, Diego, thank you. Medical exam fees is $620. I have booked it in Georgia. There you go. Get it done. Get a new medical exam done. Include it in your green card application. And then you can kick back, put your feet up and relax and wait for your green card without worrying about an RFE. It's a pain. I know it's a lot of money, guys, but it is what it is, right? Because when your beneficiary is an American citizen in 3 years after you get the issue date from your green card, you don't have to worry about all this immigration stuff anymore. You can travel on a U.S. passport. Jonathan Bolton, we've been document approved for CR1, so that's a spousal visa. Documentary qualified is what you mean to say, right? Documentary qualified for your CR1 since December. No word yet on when my wife's interview will be in Liberia. Well, the NVC on a CR1 visa will schedule the visa interview for you at the embassy in Liberia. Okay, Jonathan? If you are on a CR1 spousal visa, you're documentally qualified by the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center right now is just waiting for the embassy in Liberia to get busy where they can schedule your visa interview. That's why I don't like going through a spousal visa. I went through one in the past, 2017. Phew, man, it was a pain. Going through a CR1 spousal visa is a pain. Okay, then you're at the mercy of the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center is controlling your life right here. In a K1 visa, I'm in control, pretty much. I schedule the visa interview. I pay the visa fee. I scheduled the biometrics. Karina scheduled the medical exam. The NVC was out of it. On a K1 visa, okay, your visa package goes to Louisville, Texas. If you don't mess up that part of it, you pay the right amount, you fill out the check properly, then it goes to Texas or California or Nebraska, wherever, and probably California. The USCIS Service Center looks at your K1 visa package. They approve it. They send it to the NVC in New Hampshire, the National Visa Center. They get it. They assign you a case number and an invoice number. Then they call the embassy and they say, hey, you guys busy? Then they mail your K1 visa package to the embassy. And then you get the in-transit, and then you get the ready status, and you get the packet 3, packet 4 email. Then you schedule the interview. You're in control. In a spousal visa, the NVC is in control. That's, anyway, that's just like a brief overview for you guys. Let me see. Priyanka, do we have to send original marriage license? With your green card application, you send a certified copy of your original marriage license. When you go to the courthouse, get 4 copies, certified copies. Get 4 certified copies of your marriage license. 1 for your green card. 1 for when you lift the conditions off your 2-year green card. 1 for your family records, and then a backup. With a family member somewhere. So there's a backup. You send a certified copy of your original marriage license with your green card application. You go to the courthouse, they will print it, you pay them whatever it costs, and then they will stamp it and sign it with a black pen. And that is a certified original copy of your marriage certificate that must be included in your green card application, not a scanned copy. Can't be a scanned copy. So, Jonathan, hang in there, okay? Liberia is slow right now. Hang in there, okay? Anta Mboob. Hi, I've paid my visa fee, but still I cannot get my interview. So how many months did it take for me to get my interview? I live in Gambia. Gambia is about 3 months wait. It's about 3 months. You paid your visa fee. Did you fill out the DS-160? Did you print the confirmation page of the DS-160? Do you have all that? If you've done all that, you just got to keep looking and looking and looking until a interview slot pops up. Then you get it. Jonathan Bolton, the frustrating part is they give no estimate on how long it would take for them to set up her interest or her interview. Right. I understand. It's not an easy process. Okay, none of this is easy. But the thing is this. Once you get your beneficiary to America and you get married, okay, then now it's time for your beneficiary to get accustomed to living in the United States and become American, right? Immigration are looking for you to become an American. Immigration is not looking for you to get a green card and then just go back to your home country and hang out with your family and friends for 3 or 4 months. That's not how it works. I think Tokyo wants to come in. Do you want to let Tokyo in? Yeah, okay. Our cat Tokyo is crying like a baby at the door. So he's whining because he's not part of the YouTube live stream. So Karina's going to see if he wants to come in. Here he comes. Okay, now Tokyo the cat. If you got any questions for our cat, he speaks Spanish and English. Okay? When we came through the Border Patrol office in Miami, Florida, our cat got more questions than Karina did. Seriously. Let me see here. So, Priyanka, you understand what I just said about the original marriage license, right? It's got to be a certified copy of the original. You can't scan it. You can't put it on a Xerox machine. They won't accept that. Jonathan is frustrated. Yep. Jonathan, I applied for a fiancé visa in February of 2022, okay, but we decided to go ahead and get married, so our process started from scratch in December 2022. Why'd you do that? February 2022, your fiancé would have already been in the United States by now. You guys would already be married, and you would be living a happy life together. Why couldn't you just wait and do and write out the K1? So you paid USCIS $535. You lost that money, right? They took that money, and then you paid them again to schedule the CR1 visa. So you paid him twice, and she's still not in the United States. Dude, come on. What are you doing? You know, you got to be patient. There's a lot of people who are not patient during this process. They get impatient. I got to do it now. I want her here now. He needs to be here today. Jonathan, because we had our son coming due and wanted to be married for that. Well, you know, it would have been much easier for you guys just to finished up the K1 and then came to the United States, got married, and then you could have explained to your son when he's 18 years old, look, son, I didn't want to have you held up any longer in wherever, and so this is what happened. And then your son would have slapped you on the back and said, all right, Dad, no worries. That's it. Jonathan, I know it was a risk that it would delay the process. Yeah, it's delayed the process. It's delayed it big time. If you have filed a K1, I've seen lots of people, they file K1 visas and they're getting patient. And after 6 months, they haven't heard from NOA. They haven't got their NOA 2. They haven't got any word from USCIS. So the guy jumps on a plane, flies to, let's say, Colombia or wherever, gets married, withdraws the K1 visa and goes, yeah, you took too long. I've been waiting too long. I've been waiting long enough. I'm doing the spousal visa. And immigration is like, okay, well, just pay us more money and get to the back of the line. Anyway, you've done it. It's over with. Now you just got to work through the process, okay? You're good. You'll get it. Sissy Cote TV. How long should I wait prior to reaching out to the U.S. Embassy in Sierra Leone? To follow up, my fiance has his visa interview on December 28th. December 28th was put on admin processing, finally approved January 31. So So you've been waiting for 13 days now you're almost there. Wait for another week. If the visa was approved, okay, he went into admin processing, and then finally you got the approval on January 31. So what you're going to do now is you're going to wait for the issue status. Okay? Like I did with Karina. Karina went into 221G hold because of an Interpol police certificate. But as soon as she got it, I sent it to the embassy. Within 2 days, she had her visa. But every embassy is different. Okay? Every embassy has their own workload. They got their own way of doing things. Every ambassador has his or her own way of doing business. That's what they do. You know, it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. So you're just going to have to wait for the issue status, sissy. And it's probably going to be, I would say, next week. This week, what's today? Tuesday? So probably by the end of this week, you'll have it. Okay? You like my Colombian hat? This is a gift from Karina. Bought me this in Bogota, Colombia last year. We're walking down the street and I'm looking at these stores and I see this hat. I say, hey, that's pretty cool. And then Karina went and bought it for me. And I got these other hats too. Now, our landlord in Colombia, Senor Fernando, he bought this hat for me as a gift because we rented an apartment from him for almost 3 years. And then Karina's family, well, Karina got it, but Karina's family, they bought me this hat from Venezuela as a gift. And I got another hat over here from Cartagena. So I try to trade out hats for you guys so the videos are not too boring. But the main goal is to answer your questions and get your visas approved and get you a beneficiary in America. Okay? And Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, when you get to the United States, learn the Constitution, learn the history of our country, start planning to become an American, become Americanized, start planning on becoming a U.S. citizen, and enjoy your life in the United States. Okay? If you can't handle being away from your family, okay, if it's too tough, if your family is that tight and you have to go back to your home country for 6 months to spend with your family, then don't marry an American citizen. Don't do it. It's going to be too hard on you. Okay? I'm trying to look out for you. But if you can marry your American citizen fiance, get married, and relocate to America without planning the next trip back to your home country in 2 weeks, you know, that's the way to go. I mean, Karina, she's learning how to drive. She's studying the Constitution. It's in Spanish, but she's learning about our history of our country. She's watching YouTube channels on the history of America. She's learning about, you know, how our government works. She's becoming an American, paso, day by day. And in probably 5 months from now, she'll be driving on her own with her Florida driver's license. I figure it'd take about 5 months before she's fully ready to do that. Because, you know, these people here drive crazy sometimes. It's like driving in Italy. I drove in Italy when I was in Italy with the Navy, you know. So anyway, become an American when you get here. Assimilate. Become part of the melting pot of the United States. But the good thing about it is this. You are here legally. You have a green card. You are here legally. You did it the right way, even though it's a long process and it costs a lot of money. You did it the right way. So when you walk down the street, you can lift your head up high and be proud and know that you are in this country legally. And you have a right to be here. You have a right to work. You have a right to defend yourself. You can go buy a gun if you want and protect your house, protect your family. You have constitutional rights, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth. You are an American, right? With your green card, you are a legal permanent resident with rights as an American. But you got to become an American citizen to get the passport, and then you'll be done with all this immigration nightmare, right? It's not fun doing this. So I do the live stream for you guys to try to help you, pull you over the finish line. Pull you over the finish line and get you through this with less stress, you know, without paying an immigration attorney. How much does an immigration attorney cost? $4,000, $3,000, $4,000? I can give you the answers right away for free. Pretty good, right? Okay, guys, I jumped on the live stream. I did a surprise live stream. Today's Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Miami time, 5 p.m. Albuquerque time, and 4 p.m. Los Angeles time. I'll jump back on the live stream tomorrow, 6 p.m. And we hope you're doing well. Please be strong during this process. Don't quit. If you're in the middle of a K-1 visa process, don't quit. Don't quit. Finish it out. Don't get impatient. Well, I'm going to go get married. Okay. Then you're going to go to the back of the line. Don't do that. Jonathan Bolton, thanks for everything. Francois, thank you so much. Diego and Karina and Jonathan, Diego and Karina. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow, okay? 6 p.m.
¿Por qué quieres dónde estamos
No,
nosotros?
Tokyo.